to answer. I will be racing through the question types, then I'll be focusing specifically on the true, false, yes, no, not given question, because a lot of people said it's a technical question. I keep getting questions about true, false, not given question. Okay, so I will have to, okay, I would like to say hi first of all before I continue. Hi everyone, good evening and welcome.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, okay, welcome. Okay, so now I will have to, yes, good evening. I will have to then share my slide so that we can be in the lecture now. Okay, so okay, so today in the last lecture I will continue from where I stopped, and so today we would be treating multiple. I will be treating the question types. Let me take you to the beginning of the slide, so that because this part I'm teaching the different question types that we have in the reading section. And in the last lecture, I was able to go through some question types like this one. Let me show my cursor. Classifying information. Okay, and I was able to explain what classifying information means, what the question looks like. And I also did short answer question. One thing about short answer question is that they are not common these days, but once in a while they pop up. Okay, and we did also diagram labeling, okay, in the last class. So I'm doing a recap. Okay, we also did matching header or matching heading. Actually, I did promise some people that I was going to come back with some matching heading task, but today I've been quite busy. I couldn't add it to my slide. I promise I will do that the next lecture. So because some people said there was one complex type of matching task, yes, and I agreed. I said I was going to bring a sample, but I won't be able to do that until next lecture. Okay, today, this is multiple choice question. I am racing through all these question types because some of them are not too tactical or technical, but we need to be aware of what are the things that we are looking for. Except you make a mistake of choice or read out of context, multiple choice questions are not difficult to tackle. Okay. The only thing is that you are provided different options. Sometimes there will be some similar information inside because of the fact that the question is trying to you to pick the specific answer. Okay, so this is a reading passage, and from this reading passage, I've been able to extract this question. Okay, I couldn't bring all of them along, but according to this question, it said, how much fund would you gain by now if you had invested $1,000 in the Amazon in 1997? Okay, for those who know the rule of that guides our reading, I said when you are reading any paragraph, you need to, number one, what is the main idea? Number two, you need to quickly look for key actions and actors that happened, key actions or key actor that instigated or carried out a particular action. Okay, so in the multiple choice question that we had, so the answer is in this paragraph. Because if you see this paragraph, you can see that there is no figure mentioned there. So, but if you have read this paragraph, then you now come to this paragraph. When you want to read, you read for the main idea, you read also for, because you already know the question, well, then you read for specific actions. Okay, if I will read now, it used to be that public investors who got in on the ground floor of an initial offering could earn historic gain. If you invested $1,000 in Amazon at IPO in 1997, you will now have nearly $250,000. Okay, this paragraph is about initial public offer. Okay, so then it went about and said if you invested $1,000 in Microsoft in 1996, so the key, the main idea is initial public offer, investment, and also it mentioned different companies, Microsoft, Amazon. Okay, so the question is particularly targeted at Amazon. Okay, so Amazon is saying, okay, if you invested 1,000, the answer is actually A. So that's multiple choice questions for you. Okay, this one is saying other option is close to 500. It was not mentioned. It is not stated in the text. It was stated no fund. That's not the option. Okay, so now let's quickly go to the sentence completion, because what we are targeting this evening is actually the 8th question type, which is true, false, not given. But I need to race through this ones first. From the passage, some statement will be picked. That's what sentence completion means. And there will be some space left blank. This blank space needs to be completed. Things to note: you must pay attention to the keywords that are repeated. Why? Because the keyword can be changed in the question to a synonyms. Okay, for example, the question could have used, the passage could have used develop, and the question will use nurture. We will see it in this particular sample passage that I'm going to provide. Okay, so you also need to pay attention to words that change statements subtly. Yes, statements, words like unlike, moreover, most, more, few, all. They could be the decider. The passage could be carrying all, and the question, what you have, could be carrying some. Okay, so be very careful. So now, this is a sample paragraph. Paragraph C, this is paragraph CD. Okay, so the first paragraph, I want us to go to the question first. I always advise that before you start any passage, go to the question. I'm not saying cram question. Get familiar with the questions that you will be facing at first. Okay, so this is a question. Okay, the question 22. I want to unmute now because I want us to talk. I want to know if you can all hear me. Hello? Please, can you all hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I can.
And is my screen very clear?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, from my
Somebody
end.
said
Yes, it is.
Somebody said no. Please, if it is clear to some people, please check the orientation of your, what do I call it? Orientation of your screen. Okay. Can you see my cursor, the red cursor I am pointing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Can you see the one in red, sentence completion?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let me continue then, because I wanted to be sure you were all hearing me.
Okay.
Okay, no problem then. Okay, so on this issue of On the issue of sentence completion, okay, these sentences have been picked from the passage I highlighted before. Okay, question 22 is saying to escape from prison, Joaquin Guzman had to use such traits as creative thinking, long-term planning, and this question is targeted at the person. That's why I said note key action and key actor. Okay, so then we will go back into the passage now. Okay, just passage C is saying, Joaquin Guzman, the head of the Mexican Sinaloa drug cartel, for instance, slipped out of his prison cell through a tiny hole in a shower that led to a mile-long tunnel fitted with light and ventilation. Okay, it's telling you about how someone escaped from prison. Making a break from it required, making a break for it required creative thinking, long-term planning, and perseverance, essential skills similar to those needed to achieve big success in big business. So if you go to the question, it's saying to escape from a prison, Joaquin Guzman had to use such traits as creative thinking, long-term planning, and what's missing? This is it, long-term planning and perseverance. Okay, there was no word substitute in this one, quite straightforward. Okay, then the next question. The Sinaloa cartel built a underground tunnel and even used a dash to avoid the fence. From the paragraph we read, that answer is not there. Okay, because, so let's read the next paragraph. When Devin Lendell, who heads brand strategy for Seattle-based design consultancy, TEG, condemns the violence and other illegal activities, he became curious as to how criminal groups endure. Some cartel. So, from the opening statement, somebody is interested how criminal group endure. Some cartels stay in business despite multiple efforts by law enforcement on both sides of the US border and millions of dollars from international agencies to shut them down. So this passage is talking about the endurance, or how cartel endure for a long time. Okay, Lindell genuinely believes there is a lesson in longevity here. One strategy he underlined was how bad the guys respond to change. In order to bypass the border between Mexico and the US, for example, the Sinaloa cartel went to great lengths. It built a vast underground tunnel, hired family members as border agents, and even used a catapult to circumvent a high-tech fence. Okay, now this passage is talking about how they endure. Okay, and it particularly went on to mention specific thing, a specific example. Now, let us see. This question is targeted at the example cited, and that's why I said in the construct of any paragraph. Main idea, key action, examples. So, the Sinaloa cartel built an underground tunnel and even used a dash to avoid the fence. You will notice that one word has been substituted from the passage, which is avoid. The word that was used from the passage was circumvent. Okay, those are the things you need to look out for so that you don't keep looking out for the question. Circumvent, avoid means the same thing. So, what's the word missing here? To avoid, to circumvent. That should be the word before circumvent. So that's catapult. Okay, so that is it about sentence completion. Pay attention to synonyms, because most of the time when sentence completion comes towards the end of the exam, some people say they find it hard locating the questions. For those who have done it before, they can relate their experience. Okay, now I'll go to true, false, not given, which is particularly what I want to treat today. The last lecture, I gave 3 guidelines, but now I'm going to expatiate on those 3 guidelines. But first of all, I said true, false, not given question wants you to do 2 things in particular. Check if the question statement occurs in the passage. Okay, if it occurs, then there is a possibility that the question can be true or false. If it doesn't occur, it is a non-given situation. So if it occurs, then you now decide if it is true, if it is false. Okay, so how do you go about determining it? If it is true, if it is false. Okay, I gave 3 broad categories the other time, and I said, number 1, when the fact is restated with similar words or synonyms, they use a word, they can replace the word in the passage when the question is being written. But if the word is the same and the context is the same, it is true or yes. If the opposite of the fact is stated, or there is a new information of falsehood, it is false. I will give an example. The cat went to swim was in the passage, but the question is saying the cat and the dog went to swim. Cat was mentioned, swimming is still the action, but dog was added, so it's a falsehood. It is not a case of not given, okay? You did not see it at all, is a case of not given. Okay, so those are the 3 general rules guiding it. But now I broke down the rules into some other things that you need to take note of. Okay, I am repeating the first rule here. When the question is repeated just the way it is in the passage, it is true or yes. When there is a mix of falsehood and truth, it is false. I said provided the context does not change. When there is a change in context, it is not given. What do I mean by change in context? The cat went to swim. Then the passage is telling you that the cat and dog went to have their bath, or the cat went to have its bath. It's a non-given situation because the context has totally changed. Action carried out was, in the passage, was swim. Now the new action is bait. When the statement is not mentioned at all, it is not given. Please, you can write this down because we will practice now. I will go into sample practice. Okay? When there is a statement of possibility, this is a tricky part. The word may, might, can is used in the statement. I said this is an inference question. You need to infer the possibility from the passage. They are asking you, is it possible for this thing to happen? The passage did not state categorically that it happened. We will treat some of the questions that speaks or it's constructed in this manner. And then the 16th, I said, pay attention to the qualifiers and quantifiers. Many, most, some, all, they change the context. What I mean, they change the whole context of a particular statement sometimes and direction. It could be the difference between falsehood and not giving. Yes. Okay, so let's go into a similar passage now. After going through some of the passage, I will let us make comments if you still have some challenges. Yes. But if you have a question, you can just send some question to the chat box. I will attend to it, but I will unmute soon. Okay, this is a passage. And now I will first of all take you to the questions that comes with the passage. Because I normally say go to the question, have an idea, don't cram the question. Okay, because you have a lot of things to do. Okay, this paragraph now, I will read by paragraph. Chilies originated in South America and have been eaten for at least 9,500 years. Organized cultivation began, so this is talking about chilies. And this is history of chilies because you can see dates. So organized cultivation began in 5,400 BC. Okay, someone sent a question, I will check. Okay, Christopher Columbus was the first European to encounter chilies when he landed on the island of Hispaniola in 1492. He thought it was a type of pepper and called it red pepper, a name still used today. After the introduction to Europe, they were an immediate sensation and were quickly incorporated into the diet. From there, they spread to Africa, India, and East Asia. Okay, this passage is talking about when people started eating it in the pot, when they began the cultivation, somebody that encountered it, name given to it, and what happened when it was introduced to a part of Europe, okay, or some other part of the world. Okay, now let's go into the question. This question is saying chilies became popular as soon as they were brought to Europe. Then let's go back to the passage. Okay, where it was is here. After introduction, they were an immediate sensation. So every word that is in the question, you need to verify them. Chilies, they were, is representing chilies. Immediate sensation. Okay, it replaces became popular as soon as, replaced by immediate. Okay, brought to Europe. Okay, this part says introduced to Europe. Okay, so we can find this statement exactly the way it is in the passage. So this question is true. It occurs in the passage just as it is in the question. So it is true. Okay, let me see if I can attend to the question then. On mute. Someone said is on, okay. I will go back to the rule. Okay, I will give you time to write the rules. Okay, no problem. Or, okay, I have noted your name. I will send the rules to you. Okay, so that is it. That's the first question. Now, I want us to attend the second question. I will let you read the paragraph Then we will attempt the question. I will let you give your opinion. Please, if you know how to use the chat box, when you've answered the question, just send your answer to the chat box. True, false, not given. Yes. The second question is capsaicin causes significant damage to the mouth. Okay. So now I will take you to the passage. Okay, capsaicin is mentioned in this paragraph. So go through it now and then answer. I'll be giving 2 minutes, though you need to spend like 1 minute plus in the exam, but I'll give 2 minutes. Okay. Someone has already sent his answer. Okay. So it seems, so let me still wait for the rest. Okay, please don't write on the screen. So, okay, I will try to clear your screen. Okay, I've seen 2 answers. So we have some seconds more to go. Some seconds more to go. Okay. 3 people have sent their answer. Okay, James, you want to make a comment? Okay, I will come when I will unmute. You can make your comment. I've noted that, James, when I unmute, you will talk. Okay. Okay, the time is up now. Okay, so I will unmute. Those who have sent their answer, you don't need to talk. If you have not sent, you can talk. I have received answers from Blessing, Sandra, Yetunde, and Omoyemi. Okay, so I will unmute now so that we can all. Okay, James, what is your observation, or you want to say something? Hello, James. Okay, I'm not getting a response, so we have to go ahead. Okay, Abalaji, what's the answer?
False.
Okay, Kunle, what's the answer?
The answer is false. It's temporary infection, not permanent. It's false.
Okay, false. Okay, 5 people have said false, so let's go ahead. Because the 3 people that sent answer before said false. Actually, they are correct. But for those, they are correct. But if you have any observation, maybe you have a counter answer, please let me know. The question is, it causes significant damage to the mouth. Okay. And the passage is saying, causes temporary. That was the one that was changed that made it a false. Temporary is not something significant. It is something that will go away. Okay. So, question 3 is one of the, I will take you to the passage. Chilies can be part of bird diet. I will mute again now because I want us to get this part. Maybe we will get it, or we will all, maybe some will get it, some would not. Okay, so I will be giving 1 minute for this one. Question 3, chilies can be part of birds' diet. Then I will take you to the paragraph. Okay, so 1 minute. Okay, some 20 seconds more. If you have the answer, you can send it to this thing so that I will know that we are set. Okay, so I will unmute everyone now again. So because I want you to tell me the answer, because we should have gotten it by now. Okay. What is the answer to 3?
Not given.
Not given.
True.
Okay.
I'll take true.
I'll take true.
I take true.
I think
Okay,
it's
some
true.
people took true, some people said not given.
Not given.
Not given.
Not given.
True.
Okay, some people have sent their answer. Okay, some people said true, some people said not given. Okay, now, this statement used the word can. It is not saying chilies is part of birds' diet. It's asking, is there a possibility that chilies could be part of birds' diet? So now if we go to the passage is saying, the reason for the presence of capsaicin is thought to be to deter animals from eating the fruits. Only mammals feel the burning effect. Birds feel nothing. As birds are a better method of distributing the seeds, which pass intact through their guts, capsaicins would seem to be a result of natural selection. So, can capsaicin be part of the bird's diet?
Yes.
So, there is a possibility that it can be part of bird's diet because it can pass intact through their gut. It does not burn them, no oscillation. So, the answer is true.
Wow. Wow.
Answer is true. So I have said it. When the statement uses can, might, may, it is a statement of possibility.
Okay.
So one thing you need to know that it's a statement of possibility. It is not saying it is directly mentioned in the passage. What it's saying is, can this happen? According to, so you have to make a reference. Can it happen? The passage, it is not did it happen. Can it happen? Okay, these are the part of the technical part of the yes, no, true, false, not given. Okay, now let me take us through the next question. All large chilies grow off the ground. All large chilies grow off the ground. Okay, so now I will take you to the passage and I will talk about, I will give a minute too, because I want us to start getting. So I will mute this time around. I'll give a minute. So we will be back after that minute. If you have the answer, you can send it by text, by chat. So I will log it in. So but we will go there now. Okay, let me take you back to the question. All large chilies grow high off the ground. Okay, someone has sent an answer. Okay, so let's go to the, let me unmute now. I want our contribution. Okay, so what's the answer if you've not sent your answer?
False.
Okay, you say it is false. Okay, someone said false. Okay. Okay, now let me read before I give the answer because one particular thing I want. Okay, false. Okay, let me read now. The small chilies tend to be the hottest. They may reflect the fact that they tend to grow closer to the ground and are therefore more vulnerable to animals. Okay, the heat of the chili is measured on Scottville scale. The hottest types such as, okay, so throughout the passage, it was talking about small chilies. Okay, they grow closer to the ground. Okay, now this passage, what's the main idea about this passage?
Small chilies.
It's talking about what?
Small chilies.
It was talking about small chilies. This question is about
Large chilies.
So does it occur in the passage?
No.
Negative.
It does not occur in the passage. So that's why it is not given. So the main idea of the passage is small chilies. And this one is saying large chilies. And it also took it out of context. And also say grow off the ground. That one says grow close to the ground. But the fact is, what threw it off balance is that this passage is talking about small chilies. It was never talking about large chilies. So it is not given. That's why I said you need to first of all understand the main idea of a passage. Then when it starts talking about things in the passage, so the place where large chilies was mentioned. Okay, so that is it. Okay, so that's question 4. Question 5 now, let's treat this. Maybe after this, if you have any question, you have time to just pick some complex one. Okay, then this is question 5. Question 5 is saying people breed chilies for their eats. Okay, this is talking about the purpose of breeding for their, or growing it for their eats. So now let's go to the passage wherever it was mentioned for the purpose. Okay, we've read it before. We should be able to give the answer quickly. Okay, what's the answer to question 5? People breed chili for their eats.
false.
Not given.
The noise is much from someone. Please, I want you to contribute. F,
Not given.
not given. Because there was nowhere in the passage where it mentioned the purpose or reason why people are growing the chili
Chili.
or breeding it. So it is not given.
Given.
Okay, so those are the technicalities of yes, true, false, not given.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any question?
Can you go back a bit? My network was a bit bad, and I
Can I go back to?
please. My network was a bit bad.
Is it Yetunde that is talking?
No.
Jane.
Somebody is talking faintly. I can't recognize. I didn't hear what you said. You said I should go back to where?
Please, can you go back a bit? My network was a bit bad. I've been battling my network for like 10 minutes now.
Okay,
So
I am so sorry about that. We just treated the true false not given, but I will send you the recording. Please indicate.
All right.
Yes, I will send you.
Thank you.
My own network too, it's raining here, so if I go back, I will delay the class and my network might start giving me problem any moment from now.
All right, thank you.
From whichever link you join, please send me message that you want me to send you the recording. I will send it to you, please.
All right, I will. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, now, if there is no question, I will be saying we are almost done, but I just want to take you to just one question again, which I feel is a bit of a complex. The first rule of reading is the main idea. If the question is not capturing the main idea, then you start knowing that, well, okay, let me move. Background noise too much. Okay, so I just want to take you through another question, if I could possibly see to guide before I say finally for tonight. Okay, this is another true or false not given passage. Okay, then this is paragraph 1. This is question 1. Question 1 is saying chronobiology is the study of how living things have evolved over time. So let's go read paragraph 1. One thing about true false not given most of the time is that they are mostly in sequence of the paragraph. Yes, that's another trick that will help you a bit. Most of the time, I'm not saying all of the time, the questions are in the sequence of the paragraph. Okay, so most of the time, if you see question 1 in paragraph 1, question 2 will be in paragraph 2 or still be in paragraph 1. Okay, so that's it. Okay, this one is saying chronobiology might sound a little futuristic, like something from a science fiction novel, perhaps, but it's actually a field of study that concerns one of the oldest processes life on this planet has ever known: short-term reading of time and their effect on fauna or flora. What is this passage trying to do, or paragraph? It is trying to define chronobiology, definition of chronobiology. Chronobiology might sound a little futuristic, that's blah, 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 but this is where it started the definition: short time reading of time and their effect on fauna and flora. So you should know what you are looking for in a passage, because I would say the statement from here is distractive, like something from a science fiction novel, perhaps, but it's actually a field of study that concerns one of the oldest processes of life on this planet ever known. So it now gave the definition. So now, I am reading this out because I want you to now go and pick your answer. So I will unmute now. The question is saying chronobiology is the study of how living things evolve over time. But the passage is saying short-term reading of time and their effect on fauna or flora. So I've helped you to read. Now, what is the answer?
False. False.
False.
Okay, false. Actually, that's correct. It is false. Because it was trying to define chronobiology just the same way the passage was trying to define it. But this gave a wrong definition. Somebody's background is so noisy with a child. Okay, this gave mute yourself. I wanted everybody to talk. If you have with a child, just mute yourself. Okay, that's it.
Respect yourself and mute the child.
Okay, so it is a false because the main idea was the definition of chronobiology, but this question wrongly defined chronobiology. That's why it is a false root. So I've given some exhaustive information on false, true, not given questions. Okay, but before we go, I want us to do one paragraph, but this time around, I'm not going to help you to read. Okay, so you will read and then give the answer. The question, the second question, the rise and fall of sea level affect how sea creatures behave. That's the question. So you will now check the paragraph. Does it exist just like this, or does it exist at all? Okay, so the second paragraph. I'll give 1 minute, then I will unmute so that we can all give our opinion of the answer. Okay, we have some few seconds more. We have some few seconds more. So, well, if you've gotten your answer, let me see. Okay, I've seen your request from Yekaba Blessing Sandra. Okay, you would get it. Okay. Okay, so now let's unmute so that. Okay, what's the answer?
Yes.
What did you say?
No given.
Okay, someone said not given. Any other opinion?
False.
Okay. False. Okay, any other contrary opinion? True. Okay, someone said true. Okay, the first thing I would like to do is to go and find this if it occur in the context of the paragraph. Yes. Okay. So I will mute again before giving the answer, but I will explain. Okay. This is the passage. It says, this can take many forms. Marine life, for example, is influenced by tidal patterns. That's where the statement is. I said they can use synonyms. This statement says the rise and fall of sea level. What is tidal pattern? Tidal pattern is rise and fall of sea level. Okay, marine life. Rise and fall of sea level affect how sea creature behaves. Okay, this part is saying marine life, for example, is influenced, yes, by tidal pattern. So that statement is true. It exists. The only thing is that they used synonyms to replace it. Okay, so I will unmute now so that you can give your comment. So that statement is actually true. The rise and fall of sea level affect how creature live.
Actually said it was
Marine life, for example, is influenced by tidal patterns. That's the way it is exactly. Marine life, sea creature, tidal pattern, rise and fall of sea. So that's it. Okay, so that's the end of today's lecture. If you have any comment or question, let me know. Please. I will stop sharing now so that I can monitor the pages and see who has. If you have any question, please let me know. Okay, Ellen, you want to speak? Hello, Ellen. Hello. I can't hear you. You were in as if you want to speak, but I can't hear you. Someone let me have any questions? Any comments?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Michael, you want
Yes,
to
I didn't really get it because the question says rise and fall of sea level.
rise and fall?
How?
Rise and fall is the same thing as tidal pattern.
Yes.
Tidal pattern.
So I don't know. It says marine life. So is it the same
Marine
thing
life
as
is
sea
sea creature.
creature behaviors?
Yes, it affects the way they behave.
So it's like so then I was thinking marine life. Okay, marine life is sea creatures, but what about this behavior? The way they behave.
You were contesting the behavior
The
part.
behavior, yes.
Go back to the slide again and show you something.
Okay.
Okay. He says influence. Marine life, for example, influenced.
By tidal pattern.
Influence. It means it controls their behavior. It controls something about them. Influenced. Okay. Yes. Affects. The way they behave. If I say something influences you, it affects the way you behave.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, so that's it. So everything was exactly like that, but synonyms were used.
Okay. Okay. Marine life influence. Okay.
So you need to note, that's why you need to be familiar with synonyms. Marine life, they are sea creature, tidal patterns, rise and fall, affect, influence. Yes, it influences you. It affects your behavior. So those are the things. So when you see a particular statement, try to decode it properly. Especially if you have chosen false, maybe you are saying behavior is not included, but not actually existed. So it is true. So you will see more complicated question, but I will quickly show my screen now. If you want to screenshot the guidelines, that's why I put them in different color codes. These 6 guidelines will help you for any question. Remember, you need to know the context of the paragraph, the main idea, so that it can guide you when you are making your choice. the main idea should be in your head about the paragraph. And these 6 rules now apply. So if you want to screenshot, whenever you are treating true, false, not given, just treat it with this. And if maybe you got it wrong, the past or the answer is saying this is to give an explanation to yourself of what went wrong. 6 guidelines would help you. Okay, so any other question? Let me stop sharing so that I can see those who want to talk. Last question of course. Okay, yesterday you want to speak? Go ahead. Okay, yes, go ahead. If you wanted to. Okay.
No, I'm back though, but
What's the problem?
I missed like 10 minutes. No, I missed like 10 minutes. My phone went off.
Oh, so sorry. The only thing is that I will send you the link so that you can go through. Because I, from the last lecture we had, I said the other question types, but because the other question types were not technical, like matching task and true, false, not given, so I dedicated most of the time today for true, false, not given. Because the other time I dedicated most of the time, though I still promise those complex matching tasks, I'm still going to do some of them and do it in class. Okay, so that's
I still have a big issue with the matching. I have a very big issue with the matching task.
Why are you having
now the main idea that you mentioned and the key action, is it the first statement made? Like those matching tasks, when they ask questions, yes, you said we should look for repeated words.
Most of the time in IELTS, the first statement will give you the main idea, but I do not suggest you restrict yourself to main idea, because when we read a passage today, I will go into the passage we read to give you a clear example what I mean by and what some other people mean by yeah. Okay, I'll go into the passage and tell you what it is.
Okay.
For example, when we read this paragraph, it originates in South America and have been eating for at least 9,500 years. Okay, this first statement is talking about origin and the age of, but as you move on, it said organized cultivation began around 5,400 BC. Okay, 2 people raised their hand. I will come to you. I've noted. Christopher Columbus was the first European. So origin, for me, the main idea is of change, because it's beyond origin now. It's starting to give you the date when cultivation began. It's starting to give you who discovered it and where. So I will talk about, the main idea for me is about the history.
Yeah.
So that's why I normally fault those who say the first statement will give you the main idea. I really fault their analogy. The first statement can give you some idea where the direction of where they are discussing or what they are discussing, but you can find out that from here, the first statement sometimes might not give you the whole idea.
Exactly.
By the time you have read the second statement, you will say, yeah, in your own word, what is the main idea? Not maybe the passage is said in your own word. You can see date was mentioned. Date. This is of something.
So would you call that the key action?
The key actions that followed was the origin. I will put that first statement as one of the key actions. That's why you need to know the main idea. The first statement might not give you the main idea. So the key actions that follow is it originated from. Okay, when cultivation began, who first found it out? What happened when it was introduced in other parts of the world? Yes, those are actions that surrounded the history. Okay, and if you want to separate, because when a name is mentioned, and names are not too many, Cristobal Columbus, possibly a question will come out there. Key action, key actors. That's why I say action, actors, action, actors.
Okay, I don't know if I mentioned it to you. There's this particular passage or paragraph that I keep reading. Passage. I keep reading it, I keep attempting it, and it's still not making sense. That has to do with Churchill. About the bomb making.
Send me the paragraph so that against next part I will check it, and because to me, I think I've read that paragraph before, and I don't think it is problematic.
It is a big problem. I've done it. I did others. Tried, attempted it, and I did well. But going back to it, it still gave me so many issues. Probably because I'm looking at it from that angle.
I understand some particular passage could be very, very difficult. I do not normally countenance that. But was it an academic or general? I'm sure
it's academic.
I'm sure
because yes.
Okay, one of the things I need to let you know is that though it's one of the gimmick of IELTS, for academic people, there are some questions that are not scored, that do not contribute to their mark. You don't know those questions. Especially when you are trying to test the question, test run the question. So it could be one of those questions, but nevertheless, please send it to me. I will go over it. Possibly, I will treat it next class before I start.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll do that. Thank you.
So, no problem then. Okay, who else has a question or a comment?
Sorry, I want to confirm something you just mentioned. You said that when they are test running the question.
They test run with academic people. But you won't know the question they are test running. So they don't score those questions. So just take it easy.
Hello?
A bonus for us.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay. Let me go to those people that raised up their hand so that I can note them.
Hello?
Okay. Mr. Kule.
Yeah, please, can you also send me the rules for the true, false, and not given?
The link to what?
The rules for the true, false, not given. I could not.
Okay, I will send it to you. I will send it to you. Okay, Okoyemi, you want to talk?
No, sorry. I wanted to say I needed the video too.
Okay, you will
for
get
this class.
Okay, one thing I want everybody to note. Well, actually, it's not every class I upload on YouTube, but you can go to YouTube, subscribe, any update on lecture. I normally put it there. So, but I will send this link. Okay, so if there is no other question, I should be able to call today a day of lecture on true, false, not given. Okay, Mr. Kule, you want to talk?
No, I was just saying thank you very much for today's lecture.
Okay, you're welcome. So I will be saying good night and goodbye, and I wish you.
Thank you very much for today's lecture.
For here today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If your exam is Saturday, please send the thing to me. We can have a one-on-one.
Copy.
Please, Mr. Isaac, don't forget.
What did you say?
Mr. Isaac, please don't forget my request on writing tax too.
Yeah,
Blessing, please.
I will treat it.
Thank you. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So good night.
Good
Good
night.
night, sir.
Good night.
The time I didn't really get it.